Hello, everyone. Oh, wow, it's loud. Okay, so my philosophy in life is that it's the little details that always create the biggest of impacts. This was my first fine art piece of portraiture. Took me 3 weeks to complete of acrylics on paper. Now I'm obsessed with old people because I love the wrinkles. I love drawing the wrinkles. And this was a follow-up. Again, I love putting Omani characters, Omani styles into my artwork. This was a charcoal on paper piece. Took me about 2 weeks to complete. And I just wanted to see the effect of charcoal in creating depth in pictures and sketches. This was an oil pastel piece. It took me about 3 weeks to do. Again, the character is very much local. Her dress is very local. The jewelry she wears is very local. It was actually a friend of mine who was kind enough to volunteer to be my model. And yeah, I mean, I'm somewhat happy with it. It wasn't as easy as I thought it would be. This was a mixture of mediums. It's actually aluminium foil on her headpiece, gold leaf on her jewelry, and it's acrylic paints on the painting itself. It took me about 3 weeks to complete, and it's my first canvas piece. And I'm somewhat happy with the result. Oh, you can't really see it much, but I decided for once to stick away from portraiture of people, and I went to monkeys, so I wasn't too far off. It's my first black and white acrylics piece. It's a monkey, and those are his eyes, and that's his mouth, even if you can't see it. It took me about 2 weeks to complete, and it was inspired from my trip back to Zanzibar last year. This is a acrylics on canvas piece of a local fisherman. It took me about 2 weeks to complete. Again, the details on the beard were really difficult to perfect. I'm hoping that I did it justice, that I did the fisherman justice. This was a charcoal marker, pencil and pen piece. My first piece that took me 2 days to complete. It's about 1.5 meters in height. And it was my first attempt at sort of seeing how fast I could work, and also at the scale that I could work in. So I was definitely pleased with that. This was a commission for Sifa Hotel. It took me about 3 months to complete. Now, another side of me is, of course, being a graphic designer, which is what I studied and what I practice right now. I believe all my designs and all designs should encompass a story of some sort. This was a rebrand project for a coffee company, and I wanted to embody the culture through the designs themselves, using geometric shapes for this one. This is a continuation of the coffee blend. Again, I wanted to encompass sort of the style of artwork that I like, as well as what the client wanted, and together we sort of came up with something that I think we were both pleased with. This was, as you can see, whoever saw the poster of PechaKucha, an Omanified version of Super Mario from the Super Mario Kart series. It was just a little experiment that I did for myself, used the original Mario colors and just put them into Omani attire. It was just a humorous little project I created for myself. And of course, no Mario goes without his accomplice, Luigi. Again, all the colors have been inspired from the original character and have been Omanified, such as the khanjar, etc., etc. Now, I've also been trying to practice Arabic graphic design. This was for Oman TV for the annual Businesswomen's events. And the colors, although you can't really see them properly, but the colors were modern yet still feminine, which is what the client wanted, and alhamdulillah, they were very happy with it towards the end. This is a self-experiment that I made for myself, hand-rendered calligraphy of the Quranic term iqra, which basically means read, a very powerful term, which is why I decided to keep it on its own, on a canvas on its own. This is, of course, digital. This was just an experiment. It's an infographic experiment. Just for the Omani National Day last year, I wanted to see how I could allow 2D designs to turn into 3D just through the manipulation of color. So here it was done through like the geometric angles and the shapes used. So I was happy with that. This was for Marks and Spencer, which is in City Center, I believe. But Marks and Spencer, who wanted a gift collection range, So we created this blend of teas called the super sort of hero teas, the almighty teas, and it's a tea bag in a cape. This was for a client who wanted to have a fashion show, and her concept was turning her abayas into sort of like the black diamond, a rare collection. So I turned her original logo into the black diamond, and that was the concept of the event itself. Alhamdulillah, again, the client was pleased with it, and I am somewhat pleased with it as well. This was for Beit Zubair Museum. They're over there. Yeah, Beit Zubair Museum. It was hopefully the client is happy with it now. It took about 3 weeks to complete, and very inspired by traditional yet modern sort of pieces. And the design up there is actually from Beit Zubair Museum itself. This was an eye care initiative. Their initiative is to distribute cold water to construction workers. So I took that idea and I turned their main emblem into a water drop with a construction cap. And that's sort of like the new face of the brand, so I'm happy about that. And this is my final piece for Swansea University in Wales, United Kingdom. They wanted something to represent the society itself, something to represent peace. So I took the peace dove and I mixed it with the Palestinian flag, and together we have sort of like this one piece that tells a story, which is what I love about the design itself. And thank you so much for listening.